Well, speaking of things that you're willing to pay for, one thing that we've stressed with so many clients is that they should be willing to pay more to attract and retain A players as part of their team. Out of all of our AAA here, Bob, out of the customers, the vendors, I think it's fair to say that having that team of A players can be the biggest factor in increasing that multiple when you're looking to sell your business.
Absolutely, because people can come into a business as a new owner. They can sort of change some of the customers. They can try a new marketing strategy and get some new customers. They can change the vendors. It's harder to change the players because it's harder to find players better than you have today over the short run. Maybe you can over the long run, but it takes money and time and effort and energy to do that. So if you have A players intact already, yes, it absolutely makes your business worth more. If you think about it, your A players, that's who's dealing with your A customers and your A vendors. And that's why having the right players are so important. And if we have to pay $5,000 or $10,000 more a year than we want to attract an A player, all things being equal, I say go for it every time. It'll pay multiple dividends for you. I've seen so many companies have the wrong players in key positions, whether it's VP of marketing, CFO, COO, all your key positions, you better have A players because those A players will attract the next level of A players in the middle management ranks and then to the lower ranks as well. And pretty soon, 2 or 3 years from now, you have a company of almost all A and or B players, which is really strong.
Bob, be the company that competitors want to be. I love that line. It's right there with the greatest quotes, such as, be the person that your dog thinks you are, right?
Yes, yes, if only I could be. But yes, that's the goal because you should be able to look around today at your competitors in your geography and say, who do I want to be like? Who's doing this right? Who do I aspire to be? And if there is somebody, then you need to aspire to be as good as they are. What you want to be able someday to look around and say, there's nobody I'm competing with that I want to be. They all want to be me now. I'm at that level. I'm at the A level across my companies. Not perfect. We're improving every day, but we're now what everybody else wants to be. We've become the example. I think that's what every business owner deep down really wants to be. They want to be who everybody else looks to as a leader in their industry.
And that can be a hard conversation, not just to have with others, but a conversation to have with yourself,
That's
to accept where you are in that hierarchy of your competitors right now, and your potential to increase that.
it's always hard to look inside for all of us and look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm not who I want to be. So what do I have to do today and every day to be who I want to be? And that's, as you said, that's a hard conversation. And we've had to have that with some business owners. But the ones who hear it and respond do very well. And we're all like that. I've had to do that many times in my business is to look in the mirror and say, we're not cutting it the way I want us to cut it anymore. We got to do better.
Well, we've talked about increasing the EBITDA. We've talked about ways to increase the multiple now. Obviously, the best strategy is pieces from both sides of these variables, to in turn increase that business valuation.
Absolutely. We need to both work both ends at the same time because as we do better, these things become complementary, not contradictory. And they each build on
Absolutely.
each other. And that's what we really want. We get a lot of synergy that way.
Well, let's go ahead and take one more break here, and when we come back, we'll wrap this business valuation presentation up, and we're going to talk about exit strategies and what some of those options are to exit, and also how we go about planning towards that day.
Sounds great.